What's going on, guys? Apathettic here with all your tips, recommendations, and everything in between. And today we're going to break down the importance of removing your ego when playing trials and how this won't only impact your ability to win, but also hopefully improve your mental outlook as well. Let's get into it. So before we can even drop our ego, it's important to understand what having an ego is, what it looks like, what's kind of like the definition of it. And having an ego is almost like a inflated sense of self-importance. We feel like we need to play the best, we need to do whatever it takes for us to have the best KDA or KD, and that is the most important thing on top of winning, right? If we win but we're doing the worst, it almost doesn't feel like a win because I didn't do as good, so now I feel like, oh well, does it really matter that we won because my KD wasn't the highest? It's that inflated sense of self-importance. I'm thinking about myself a lot and I'm trying to make sure I always look the best. And this is something that especially for streamers and content creators can manifest itself very easily, and it's not always something that streamers or content creators are always doing on purpose. They're not intentionally trying to have an ego or this inflated sense of self-importance, but sometimes what happens is you're feeling this external pressure of what your viewers expect of you, what your subscribers expect of you. They expect you to do very well all the time. They expect every lighthouse run to be flawless, and that can create that inflated sense of self-importance, that inflated sense of, oh man, all these people think of this of me, that's all that matters, I have to do well. Even if we lose, it's okay if I do well. And that inflated sense of self-importance can manifest itself in a lot of different ways. Now, a lot of ways that ego manifests itself in trials and when you're playing with your teammates is, the first thing is you think your way is the best way. You think you know how to do everything the best, everybody should listen to you, you like to call the shots, and you don't really, it's one thing to call the shots with your team and take in input as well, and it's another thing to call the shots and nothing else matters. And that's something that players with a lot of ego will have. The other thing that they'll show a lot is they're unable to admit faults. They don't admit when they are the ones that made the mistake. They often want to blame everything on the players around them, point out the fact that they should have been here or they should have done this. And a lot of those things are easy to say in the moment because hindsight's 20/20. But in that moment, a lot of players are doing the best they can with the information they have. And players with a large ego aren't going to see that. They're going to only see that, you know, you guys lost a round and it couldn't have been their fault. It's never their fault. It's everyone else's fault. Basically, players with large ego are going to play with their own self-interest in mind and are going to do whatever they feel is going to make them perform and play the best, regardless of if the team is going to win or not. They aren't going to change the way they push. They're probably not going to change their loadout very much. They're going to want to just do what they do and try to get everyone to adjust around them. And sometimes that's good. It's about playing around each other as a team, and if we can adjust to one player around us, that's great. But it's more that factor combined with some of the other factors I mentioned, and this isn't a one size fits all to defining what players have large egos, but more kind of like a loose guideline of examples I've seen in the past of players that can be a little bit uncompromising. So now that we've really broken down what having an ego looks like, let's talk about how we can remove that if we start noticing some of those things within ourselves. And I'm just as guilty, guys. There's been times where I'm like, no, I don't want to try this, or I don't want to switch this, or I don't want to do these things. And I've had to find ways to look past that and let that go for the betterment of my team. So we're going to talk about some of the things we can do, but also how it will help not only our team win more, like I mentioned, but also our mental state and help us enjoy playing the game a little bit more. So one way I found that really helps me take my ego out of the game I'm playing or in the trials match I'm playing is really focusing on the mistakes I'm making or the things that me and my teammates could be doing better to win individual rounds. When you let your ego take over, it's very easy to feel like you're not doing anything wrong. It's very easy to start placing the blame on other people or on lag, or, I mean, of course, cheaters is a whole different scenario. We're not going to really get into that. And there's no self-responsibility happening. You're not taking the responsibility yourself because you feel like you're the best. You're always going to be the best. You never lose. Nothing bad ever happens. And that's just not true. There has to be mistakes you're making. There has to be things maybe you're not working well enough with your team. Maybe we're not communicating well enough. And that for me has helped me enjoy the games a lot more and keep my ego out of it and create a lot more productive communication with my teammates. I spend a lot less time complaining. I spend a lot less time talking about things that me and my team cannot control. All the talk is focusing on how I could be playing better, what I could be doing differently, or what we as a team could be doing differently, and it keeps you in a positive mindset because you're constantly focusing on things that are within your control. Now, the last thing that has really helped me kind of remove my ego from when I'm playing trials or just playing Destiny in general is really focusing on doing whatever I can to help the team win. Sometimes that's switching loadouts, sometimes that's pushing away maybe I'm not the most comfortable with, and also, especially this last weekend of trials, that can include baiting yourself. There was a couple of times where I was pushing through all the way to A door and my team was a little bit behind me, and I was doing that specifically so it could create some breathing room for my teammates and they can move up a little bit and they could get better angles. But I was also putting myself in a lot of harm's way because now the entire enemy team is kind of turning on me, or at least 2 of them are turning on me, and now this is creating a scenario where 9 out of 10 times I'm probably gonna die here, but the 9 out of 10 times we won those rounds because it opened up things for my teammates. The other team was so focused on me that allowed my teammates to come in, play very well, and secure a bunch of kills, and ultimately allowed us to go flawless. And at the end of the day, that was probably one of the most rewarding trials cards I'd ever had. A card where I was almost sacrificing myself, it felt like. I mean, it's not that extreme, but I was playing really just to be a distraction. I wasn't playing to slay out. I wasn't playing to have the highest KDA. I was focused purely on opening things up for my teammates. And that really is the definition of teamwork right there, is when you focus on doing everything for the betterment of the team. It's not about yourself. It's about helping your teammates improve, putting them in situations where they can perform their best. And there you have it, guys. That's how ego can kind of manifest itself and impact your trials games. And it may be something you're not even aware of or doing intentionally, but I challenge you guys to self-reflect during your games, self-reflect on your mindset before you enter a game, on how you want to play, how you want to impact your teammates, and the impact you want to have overall on the game. And I promise you, this will make your flawless runs a little bit smoother. Again, I know there's a lot of cheating stuff going around, and I can tell you, putting this mindset into play has also helped me. Even with that, even when I run the cheaters or you get a beaver error code, just being in that mindset, it doesn't bug me as much. It honestly doesn't. Do I think it should be fixed? Absolutely. That's a video for another time. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this gameplay. I'm gonna shut up now. This is with Ascendant Nomad, who, speaking of ego, this guy has none. He's always willing to do whatever it takes to help the team win. I'll leave his link down below. And again, this footage is coming from twitch.tv/apathettic. So if you wanna follow me over there and catch some of the streams, I'd love to have you guys. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Say again?
Moving up with you.
They're gonna collapse on me.
Oh.
They collapsed on me. I'm dead here. Oh my god, dude.
Oh, shotgun.
Nice. Play slow, play slow. You got him. Fire away.
You didn't know where it was? Let's
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Good job, guys. I just like bait myself. Look at all those orbs all at A door.
Dude.
Jesus.
Easy, dude. Snipe.
I mean,
Remember you still have that bullet back.
Watch that left side push. Watch that left side push. It's floating. Careful picking that angle.
I ain't doing shit.
They got a chaos reach.
Yep,
Okay,
chaos
ballsy.
reach.
I like it.
There's one sniping all the way at the back of broken on path.
Yep.
I got naded. Oh,
And he's not hitting him. Salty. Oh.
I bought
God.
one. Got him.
Nice kill.
Behind me,
Oh
man.
god, I missed.
That was well played.
Alright, they used a super. They got smash. I think I'm gonna have super this round.
How are they? Are they running high intellect builds? Is this why they have super,
Yeah.
even though they've done nothing?
Yeah.
They are.
Okay. Well, I've got my tether.
Chaos Reach Warlock won't have the energy back though, because they
No, he
traded
won't.
with.
I'm gonna pop my
He's
super
gonna
right
try
here.
and-
Get ready for the rotate.
I think the other Titan is in. Blue side.
I got him.
Got me.
Easy kill.
Right.
Play his res. Or don't.
Flawless.
Oh, nice.
GG, dude.
Good job, guys.
Hey. Nice.
And that is it.